Welcome! Welcome, everybody. Right on time, as per usual here. Come on, am I out of focus? Looking good. Looking good. Welcome in, you guys. Ages of Sega Showcase Auction.
$650.
Brought to you by Heritage Auctions, brought to you by Get the Greg Games. Huge thanks to them sponsoring, huge thanks to you guys being here tonight. A lot of the Dallas-Fort Worth collection is coming up. At the Signature Auction, we saw like more of the Nintendo stuff, I'd say. I think there was the Phantasy Star on Sega Master System that went for $20,000, if I'm remembering my Sega correctly here. I think that might have been the biggest Sega item at the Signature Auction that passed. Am I not live? Okay, yes. The hell are you talking about, Billy?
Next lot. 1,000.
You got me terrified. You got me terrified, Billy. Got me thinking I'm streaming to no one. Got me thinking the mooses are eating my internet again. We're gravy. We're gravy. I was extra scared just because of how shitty the internet was last night. You know what I mean? So, we're on Tuesday. Windows is updated. Everything's good. Action Fighter 9.88 plus for $1,000 starts things off. 9.88 plus Afterburner. The selection of Sega Master System games today is it's insane, to be quite frank. The amount of Sega Master System that's here and the grades that are associated with them, like 9.6, 9.8, A+, on basically everything here. I don't think we've seen such a selection of Sega Master System stuff ever put for sale since the Plattsburgh collection. I think that was the only other time we really had a ton of Sega Master System. Not the most collected game in the world, or not the most collected console in the world. A little more niche, but like, there are dedicated Master System people out there, much like there are dedicated Atari people out there still. And that's why, you know, we're going to see, I'm guessing, quite a high minimum value again on a lot of these games. Kind of like the Atari auction, where, like, everyth+, was $1,000. Alex Kidd, High Tech World, $1,187.50, 9.88++. Alf, 9.4A+. Always been rare. Second time at Heritage, always been a rare Sega Master System game. This one being 9.4A+, not from the, not from the Dallas-Fort Worth collection. Alf last sold October 13th, 2022. This is nuts, man. This copy just sold for $1,750. Alf last sold October 2022. 9.6 A+ WADA grade for I think it was $7,000.
$750.
Yeah, $7,800. And like I said, a Plattsburgh collection, because that was the last time we saw some of these incredible Master System games. So yes, Plattsburgh collection's already 2 years old, hey? That's crazy, man. That auction does not feel 2 years old. That's kind of nuts. Alf closed at $1,750 though. Aztec Adventure 9.6A+ for $875. Blade Eagle 3D 9.8A++. Yeah, I thought Alf was going to get some pump, GT100. I thought Alf was going to get some pump. We'll see what Gen X Nostalgia's worth. It's tough, man, because like I said, SMS obviously has its collectors, but it ultimately is more niche. Like even, I mean, I don't want to talk out of my ass here, but I don't think the sales of SMS consoles was even that good at the time, was it?
Fair warning.
Like Sega wasn't a heavy competitor until the Genesis era, as far as I know.
$1,600.
Double Dragon CGC 9.8A++ here. That's nice. Damn. Highest graded copy they ever sold on this console. Yeah. Yep. Back in November 2022, I'm sure it's Plattsburgh collection again for $2,160. That was a 9.6A. So this copy blowing it out of the water, right? 9.8A++, probably the highest grade that exists on this, I would assume. I would assume.
Fair warning.
Alf's eating the dogs, Alf's eating the cats, yes. Yes, Alf is the menace down in Springfield. Little known fact. Like, they gotta get that guy, man. He's terrorizing Springfield. I'm glad you pointed that out, Joe. Very good, very good. Double Dragon pushing its way up to almost $2,400.
Next lot. $200.
Double Dragon, 2,250. I'm a bit surprised it didn't pump higher. Just like known IP, known game, probably the highest grade that's, has been sold. I am a bit surprised it didn't get a little bit more juice. And it does make me wonder if we are going to see a lot of these games, like I said, sell high. We're going to see a really high floor. We might not see the largest ceiling in the world. We might be hovering in that $2,000 range. Very akin to what happened at Atari. eSWAT VGA 95 going for 337. I think I said 3,000. Jesus, 337. Enduro Racer 9.8A. The CGC anti-premium. Come on, this is as good as it gets. You get the pedigree label, the all gold 9.8A++. If it's not a 9.9, is it really 9.8? It is kind of interesting that you say that, Joe, because I don't know if there's a single 9.9 in this auction.
$550.
The 96, 98, 98, 98, 98, 96, 96, 98. I would say it's a little bit surprising that there's no 9.9s. We're talking about Genesis Master System hard case games here. Because in my head, most of these 9.8s would probably cross to WATA, because there's just not that much nuance to the Sega Genesis hard case, to the Sega Master System hard case. They would probably cross. You might not get the A++. That's more, you never know, but I am surprised there are no 9.9s. 9.8 on F-16 Falcon Fighter going for 512, Enduro Racer 206, here's Fantasy Zone 2. 9.8 A++. Almost all of these here are going to be the highest graded copies that have ever sold, so just keep that in mind. And if there's any comps you want to see on any of these, just because I don't know as much about Sega, so like Hamster Joe, if there's a game where you want to see a comp, just let me know. If there's something I should be looking at a little bit closer, if there's a game that's just a little bit more interesting, let me know. Because I'm only familiar with 20 or 30. I'm only familiar with 20 or 30 Master System games. Fantasy Zone, The Maze, a 1 mega cartridge, 9.8 A+. Highest graded copy they've ever offered, of course, out of just 3. 9.6 A+, Plattsburgh Collection, October 13th, 2022, 384. So this one's going much higher than the October 9.6. This one's pushing up to almost 900 here. Did I ever grade those Arnold magazines? No. Funny enough, David, I was arranging some stuff the other day, because this week I've just been going through so much stuff. I'm doing so much winter cleaning, I guess. Fall cleaning, autumn cleaning. Going through graded games I no longer want to own, sending stuff out, getting rid of stuff, just, going through everything basically. With the 30% WATA coupon, CGC grading just put out a coupon today as well. VGA put out a coupon, so if you have stuff in your backlog you've been looking to grade, I think for the next week at least, all 3 companies are running discounts. So, good time to get some stuff graded, right? Which is why I'm going through all of my stuff and yeah, I found those Arnold magazines is the point. And I looked at them again. And no part of me regrets owning those. I need to get them sent out for grading though. But I absolutely still own them and I still love them. That's the whole point of that whole story there. There's discounts on every grading company, so get some shit, Get some shit out, get some shit sold, do an audit, do some cleaning.
$750.
That's the goal before 2025 hits. Get some of your stuff sold, cleaned, graded, all that stuff. 2025 is just around the horizon, right? Get it done before then, so then 2025 spring you can be making some moves. Golvelius, Valley of Doom, an RPG on the Sega Master System. This is another one that's always been expensive, always been valuable. It's one that I do know about just because it is it's always been one of those games on Master System. The last time it sold, 9.8A went for $408. I'm almost choked I didn't buy that. That's cheap, man. That's kind of cheap.
Fair warning.
This one already pushing its way over 1,500, almost 1,600, looking for 1,800 now. Welcome in, Odin. What's up with the CGC gold label? It's for pedigrees. For pedigree stuff. In my opinion, the nicest label that exists in video game grading. A lot of this stuff is coming from the Dallas-Fort Worth collection. That's why they all have this nice label. Did you win the other Golvelius hamster? It just seems cheap. Do you know where you can find the codes? Planning on sending in some stuff to VGA and CGC? I think the CGC stuff is just discounted on the website. I believe so.
Fair warning.
I think it's $30 per game is the discount for CGC. $5 off standard tier. And if you're an elite member, I think it's $24 per game. If you're an elite member, it's $16 per crossover. I'm pretty sure. VGA, what the hell was theirs? $49.99 standard, 45 days? Does that sound correct? Did VGA need a code? I think VGA, you get $49.99 for 45-day turnaround. And then Wata Games is a straight up 30% off.
Fair warning.
Is that gold label similar to how BGS has the gold versus black? No. No, this is not for the actual grade itself. Like, the gold label has nothing to do with the grade. It has everything to do with it being pedigree. As far as I know, BGS doesn't do anything for pedigrees. So, like, you could have a 9.8 with the gold label, you could have a 7.0 with the gold label. It's fully just due to pedigree. Golvelius closes at $1,875. You bought one off eBay, graded 9.4, 9.6A plus. Gotcha. For less than $400 for a sealed one? Just seems cheap. Yes, of course, Milk, of course. Like, take advantage of the discounts, right? No reason to pay any more than you have to get your stuff graded. So when that 30% discount dropped, it was like, all right, let's get 50 games out the door here. I'm saving myself, I think on every 15 game order with Wata, it's like savings of 230 US. It's kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. Makes it worth.
$650.
Lord of the Sword, 9.8A, going for $845 there. My Hero, 9.8A plus, selling for $937.50. Yeah, Golvelius for $2,000. That's still cool. It's just a game that's always stood out. Penguin Land, 9.8A plus plus.
Fair warning.
Fifth time selling Penguin Land? Closing for sub $1,000 on 9.8A plus plus. I'm a bit surprised. I think it said October 2023 even. 9.6 went for like $800. You're still learning about the graded video game terms. You're coming from the graded TCG and sports cards. Really appreciate the content. Absolutely, man. Do sports cards do pedigrees?
Next lot.
I know it's a comic thing for sure. Comics do pedigrees. I don't know if sports cards do. I don't believe TCG does, so.
$850.
Poseidon Wars 3D, $875. Power Strike. This is the mail-in only game, right? Third time selling it. Comes from Dallas-Fort Worth. Yes, mail order only. Very limited retail distribution. The last time this sold, oh my fuck. The last time this sold, 9.8A plus, November 2022, for almost $10,000. Like, I know mail exclusive, it's always been a rare game. This is one that I'm aware of because, you know what I mean? Like, it's the mail order only game. Almost $10,000 though, November 2022. Before that, October 2022, $6,600 for a 9.6A. Some tough competition here. This is a 9.4A plus, so I don't think it's going to get anywhere near those comps, but we're climbing. We're climbing, pushing $2,000 right now. Pushing over $2,000 quickly. CGC's wait times are getting longer and longer. You used to be able to send a game on Monday and have the grades by Friday. Oh my god, homeostatic. But yes, I agree with you. I have been hearing they're slowing down as well. I think people had it too good before with CGC. You know, that's crazy. You could send on Monday and get the grades Friday. That's crazy. But yes, I'm pretty sure their standard tier is much more in line with website estimates now.
$800.
Power Strike closing at $2,000. Yeah, nowhere near those $6,000 or $10,000 sales there. Is only a 9.4, but some of those Master System sales, man, they're very impressive. Like, more impressive than I remember them being. Quartet, 9.8A plus plus here. That Plattsburgh collection, that October-November 2022 was actually super strong, man. You know, PSA and SGC do put it on their label if it's from someone more well-known. Okay, yeah, that's somewhat similar there. Yeah, somewhat similar. Same kind of idea. You just don't get a fancy label with the card companies. Quartet closing at $1,125 into R-Type 9.6A+. The last 9.6A+ of this sold for $432. So here we go, pushing up over $800. That was back in April 2023. Same grade. Maybe it's the same copy. There's only one grade higher. I wonder if it's the same copy that sold for $1,200, then $432, and now looking for almost $800. Someone playing hot potato here with R-Type? $750 this time around.
$900.
Which one are you saying here, Krills?
$50.
Rampage 9.8A+. This should do good, I would assume. Rampage is always 9.8A, October 2023. $1,000. This one's already pushing over $1,200. You sent 5-year games to CGC July 17th. Just got them back last week. Way too long. That's on standard tier, I assume there, Thomas? Oh, that's not the same one. Not the same one. Gotcha. How much more of a premium does the pedigree fetch? Arguably none. You'd have to do a lot of analysis to know if it brings any premium whatsoever. My recommendation is, like, you know, don't pay up for a premium or for a pedigree. Obviously, the label looks super nice, so I do think there's a little bit more bidding because I genuinely think the label looks fucking awesome. But yeah, it'd be very hard to say one way or the other. I agree. Game Gallery, not much premium on the pedigree. 1,625 on Rampage. Rastin 9.8A+. 1,125 Space Harrier 3D 9.6A++, highest graded ever offered, of course. Of course it is. And speaking of, if you want to guys get your spring cleaning, if you want to get some stuff sold before 2025, there are a couple more auctions coming up. We have a Japanese video game showcase auction in December, as well as Power of PlayStation. The signature's already closed off. If you want to get into a signature auction, again, right, you can get your stuff graded right now, get all the discounts. We're taking consignments now for the February signature auction. Use the discounts, get everything graded. There's going to be a whole new slew of auctions coming up for 2025. So if you want to get into the February 2025 signature, videogames@ha.com, any of the upcoming showcase auctions, Nintendo 8 to 64-bit, PC showcase auction, consignment deadlines fast approaching, and of course, always taking consignments for the weekly auctions right here on YouTube every single Tuesday. Videogames@ha.com to reach out. There's links in the description. You can get yourself a free appraisal on your stuff. See if Heritage is the right option for you, right? See if Heritage Auctions is the right option for you to get rid of some of your games. Or sell your premium stuff at the highest dollar possible.
Fair warning.
Huge thanks to them sponsoring. Huge thanks to you guys being here tonight. Thunderblade CGC 9.8A++ for $1,000 into Time Soldiers. 9.8A++ for $656. Joe, Hamster, anyone else who are the Sega guys, have you guys bought anything yet? Overall, I think prices are more attainable than I thought they would be tonight. I didn't know what to expect out of CGC, this pedigree, the Dallas Fort Worth, some of these nicest games. Maybe these just aren't the most nicest games. Maybe these just aren't the nicest or the most premium games coming up for auction. But I did expect a little bit more premium on some of them. So I'm curious if you guys are grabbing some. That was standard tier. July 17th. Just got them back last week. Yeah. Yeah, that fits with what I'm hearing more. Food Chaser. Or not Food Chaser. Thomas. That fits with what I'm hearing more with CGC. Which I think genuinely they're just getting a lot of volume. So Food Chaser, you asked, does anyone like CGC? They actually get a good deal of volume at this point. People grade with CGC. Absolutely. They might get the most volume out of all three companies right now. That's fully possible. I'd have to look at actual graded numbers, but like the volume CGC gets is very real.
Fair warning.
And then of course comics, trading cards, all that other stuff. Transbot, $875. Vigilante, 9.6A++ or $1,100. Wonder Boy and Monsterland. Surely Wonder Boy is gonna pop, right? Anytime Wonder Boy. 9.6A++, yeah, over $1,000. Looking for $1,500 here. Last time Wonder Boy sold was actually this year. 9.6A+ went for $1,812. So right now, looking for $1,750 on this with the pedigree label. You were asking what kind of premium does the pedigree label bring? We're looking to match the May comp from earlier this year. Looking for $1,750. So not even selling for as much as this game did back in May.
$50.
So, you know, does the pedigree label bring a premium? It's insanely difficult to say one way or the other. Zaxxon 3D 9.88++.
Next lot. $556.
$656, and Zillion closes out Sega Master System. Yeah, that's a man, 34, 35 games there for Sega Master System. Who knows the next time we'll see a lineup like that at auction? Who knows the next time we'll see that? Well, the deal's going on right now. You're leaning to send your very first video games to get graded. Let's go. It'll be CIB between CGC and WADA. Who should you go with? If you're doing CIB, I genuinely think CGC offers a much better product. Their grading is cheaper for CIB. It's more detailed for CIB. I kind of think CGC. That's my lean anyway. I don't like the product WADA offers for CIB. I don't like that the details on the label or grading extra components costs additional money. Makes no sense. Makes no goddamn sense to me. So that's my lean. Other people can weigh in on that if they want. Zillion 9.68++ for 906 into Sega Genesis. And these should be the big boys of the auction. These should be the big boys of the auction. Right, CGC's deal requires a minimum of 10 games. And it excludes CIB? What? Really?
Fair warning.
It excludes CIB?
Next lot.
I take back everything I said. Like, fuck CGC. I take back everything. Arrow Flash, CGC 9.88++ for $781. That almost feels like a deal there for Arrow Flash. Renovation title, a pretty fun shmup, I'm pretty sure. Battletoads, 9.88+. This is crazy, man. This is nice. Looking for $2,000 on it, 9.88+. Closing at $1,937.50. I had big expectation on the Toads there. $1,937.50. WADA 9.8A sold for $1,500. 9.8A for $2,000. Those are both back in 2023. 9.8A January 2022 for $7,200. Right? I think Toads is cool enough where it should kind of bounce back in the future. Like, I think Battletoads is renowned enough, safe enough, if you want to use that word, safe, quote unquote. $2,000 for that copy. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. BOB 9.68+ for $350 there into Burning Force 9.88. Namco on this one only offered 3 copies before. 9.88 last sold for $720. Pushing its way up here. Almost $400. You have your eyes on a couple things much deeper into the auction. You never mess with Master Systems, so you don't have the right feel for value or who you might ever sell them to. I agree. And you know, it's not a huge... Like, it depends, right? Like, Tring there, you say there's only 5 games worth grading as CIB, right? And I agree with you. But there's also just that fun component where, like, you want to do grade stuff for your own personal collection. Like, it doesn't sound like Feed the Gods is, you know, a big flipper seller market participant. So if you want to get something graded for your own, absolutely, and do it. You learn so much just grading a single item. But also, Joe, it's like, it's a consideration I make too, where if you're buying something for Sega Master System, even if you want to enjoy it for the next 5-10 years, at some point you have to consider who the hell are you selling it to. Bloodlines, 9.6 A++ clamshell early production copy. Looking for $5,000 on it. Immediately shot up there. The comp I'm seeing, 9.8 A+, went for $8,400 April 2023. Most of the time, we're going to see the Majesco cardboard copies of this game. So that's why we're seeing Bloodlines do so well. This is an actual early production hard clamshell copy of the game. One of the most collectible Genesis titles that exists, period. Yes, CGC will show you all the subgrades on the back. Yeah.
Fair warning.
Same with WADA Games. Or CGC shows you all the subgrades right on the front, actually. WADA on the back, yes. Bloodlines is pushing to $6,000, looking for $6,000. WADA Games not showing all the components is a major risk for the buyer. You can't buy those because you have no ideas what's left. Yep. I mean, I just always assume, David, it's empty inside, right? If there's a Secret of Mana, a Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy 3, and it doesn't... the back isn't labeled with poster and everything, I just assume they don't have it. I don't think there's any other choice to make. You just have to assume it's not in there. Looking for 6,875 on it now. CGC does not have pop reports still, unfortunately. You have an early prototype clamshell of Bloodlines, or what? Is that what you're saying? Or early production clamshell, but CIB? Nice. I have a CIB myself. Just super cool game on Genesis.
Next lot.
Finally closing at 6,562. So there we go. There we go.
300.
There's some love for Sega, hey? 6,562, 9.6 A++. Beautiful early production copy there. Chuck Rock 2, Son of Chuck, 9.6 A+. Tied with one other for highest grade on the WADA Pop Report. Earlier on, you traded some regret purchases into more desirable cards. Very smart. That's what you got to do, man. I'm selling off some of my regret, like, graded games or graded games that just sucked, where it's like, man, I just need to roll this money into something better at this point. You know, like, I have just an example of what I'm getting rid of. It's like a 9.0A, Fable 2, do not sell before fading on spine, right? And I've kept that in my collection, quote-unquote collection, for like a year and a half or 2 years. Why the fuck am I storing a 9.0 faded Fable 2 in my house? Why am I doing that? The game's worth like $80. So, yeah, I'm just getting rid of some of that, cycling some money, and yeah. Maybe I can put it towards a banjo, Odin. Speaking of, right? I don't have a banjo yet. Maybe I can put that money towards that. Chuck Rock 2, 525 bucks. Comics Zone, VGA 90. Genesis Cult Classic there, going for $1,000, right on the nose. Contra Hardcore, 9.6 B+. Early production on this as well. Pushing its way up to 575. That B+ is probably going to hurt. We'll see, though. Is that a 9.6A, though, for 552 only? Is this game just, like, way cheaper than I think it is?
$480.
Man, this game's just kind of cheap, hey? 9.6A, 552 bucks, October 2023. I assume this is, yeah, okay, we're looking for $600 already, so that CGC sale might just be a low outlier, because we're now pushing 625, looking for 625 still. And that 552 one, looking like a deal on Contra Hardcore there. 6K was your limit on the Bloodlines? Ah, dude. Damn, dude.
550.
I was hoping one of you guys might win that, but like that was actually a push there. Oh yeah, 9.8 non-pedigree all day tring. The pedigree is not making up a numerical grade. It's not making up a seal grade. Like the label looks nice, right? So all things equal, I might pay an extra 50 bucks for a pedigree game, right? Like say this was going up against a regular CGC 9.6 A++, I might pay an extra 100 bucks for the label. It sold for 6,500, you know, like I would pay an extra 100 bucks to get this label, but I'm not gonna put it over any other kind of better grade. You show me a 9.8, you show me, you know what I mean? Like, the pedigree label isn't getting a boost on that. Not for me. Contra Hardcore, 9.6 B+, 750. There we go, a little bit more juice on Contra. I think Contra Hardcore, again, super cool Genesis game. Should be a little bit pricey, right? I'm surprised that one sold for like 550 bucks.
Fair warning.
Motley Crue. Crew Ball, Heavy Metal Pinball, 9.6 A on that. Selling for $300. Crew Ball is a great game. Yes, very cool game. I agree. I've actually had the chance to like test this out. A cartridge on my own Genesis back when I got it in loose. Just a cool game. Just a cool freaking game. Devilish, The Next Possession, 9.6 A. This is Pop 1. Published by Sage's Creation. They don't have many games on the Genesis or Game Gear at all. Just one of those odd publishers where if you see that logo, it's like, ah, yeah, this is probably rare. $325. Pop 1 game here, not getting that much love. Maybe not a lot of full set Genesis collectors caring about stuff like this, Hamster.
$480.
Damn, sealed copies of Genesis. You didn't even know about this auction. They didn't send you a postcard. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. You got to get on that Heritage mailing list. You finally got a sealed Tenjin Tetris 9.4 Wada? Very nice, RJ. Where'd you get it? How much did you pay? I'm curious. I know you were looking there for a couple months.
$1,800.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a Banjo-Kazooie probably next year, Odin. That'll be the goal. Hopefully we can get one next year. This year we got Super Smash Bros. On N64. That was like my really big purchase, so. Double Dragon on Genesis. 9.8 A++. This is crazy, too. This is in one of those oversized ballistic cardboard boxes. This is neat. First time selling it at Heritage even. Damn. Pushing its way up to almost $3,000. Garrett Plummer. I appreciate you, dude. Always appreciate you, man. There's only a few CIBs you personally have that you want to clean up and get them slabbed to preserve it. All of them are PS2 games. You do want to buy higher grade sealed later on. Yeah, I would probably recommend sealed as well, unless these games are super expensive. Just because most sealed PS2 stuff can be gotten for very reasonable prices. So it just depends what you have. Grading CIB PS2, like, I don't want to say it's a waste of money, but it's not a great financial choice in like 99% of instances. Double Dragon is pumping. We're up to over $4,000 now. 9.8 A++. Like I said, the oversized cardboard ballistic publisher, they're cool. You lift it up like a box of chocolates, and then the game and stuff and manuals all inside this big box. There's not many games that use that style of box. This is one of them. This might be the most notorious one, I guess, or the best title that uses this box. Someone else can weigh in on that. But most of the games that use these aren't exactly great titles. It's surprising to see Double Dragon as one of them. Looking for $5,000 now on it. Yeah, the Super Smash Bros. Was the big purchase this year, Odin. That cost me like 3,500 US, I think. So like, poof, you know, that cut my budget right there. Even for sentimental reasons, I mean, if you're doing it for sentimental childhood, if it's your actual copy, I get it, right? If that's the actual copy of SX3 you grew up with, I get it. You can't replace that. Can't replace that. You can't substitute sentimental. The Double Dragon closing at $4,750. Did you miss Game Gear? You did not. Game Gear will be coming up right after Sega Genesis, I believe? I don't think there's a ton tonight, though. Where's Game Gear? Yes, here's the Game Gear. Coming up after Genesis and a little bit more stuff. We're about 50 games away from Game Gear, it looks like. Yeah, about 50 games away. So, you know, maybe an hour out? About an hour? Something like that. Starts at 79,105. We're currently at 79,0048. 50 minutes to an hour, I assume Game Gear will start, just so you are aware. Set your alarm, you know, look ahead, all that stuff. Dragon's Fury, 9.48 plus for $425. Elemental Master, CIB, Jesus man, this is like a perfect CIB on this. 9.8 box, 9.8 cart, 9.6 manual. Renovation title, rare, sought after, all that good stuff. Elemental Master has it all, baby. Looking for $750 on it. Yeah, CIB, exactly. High price for a CIB. Elemental Master, man. It's always kind of been that game. And see, this is a time too, Goatsy, right? Where it's like, it's a CIB. Kind of nice to get the gold label and everything. Looks awesome. $687.50. Eternal Champions with the controller included. Damn. Where are the bids? Do people not realize it has the controller on the back? Kind of cool. If I can win it for $200, I mean, fuck it, right? I'll just go sell it again. Seems crazy.
$220.
85 plus with the controller included on the back. Eternal Champions. You got the Game of Thrones auction magazine? It's thicker than a phone book. Yeah, I saw that the Game of Thrones auction had had started. I think I saw on Instagram they sold a White Walker for like $40,000. It is, that Game of Thrones auction is insane. The people at Heritage were taking pictures sitting in the throne. Like Val uploaded a picture on her Instagram sitting on on the Game of Thrones throne. I don't know its actual name. I don't know the series, but just it's an insane auction. You can just browse through there. I think the throne's for sale, Hamster. Why else would they have it, man? Why would they have it at the Heritage auctions? Let's see what's sold here. Just a quick look. Quick look. One quick look at the Game of Thrones auction. Can we not see what's sold? Oh my gosh, we can't. What can I do? Highest price? Yeah, right? The literal throne? The Turing Iron Throne? Game of, or is this not from the actual show?
$110.
310 pounds. Molded from the original screen used one. It's a replica, expertly crafted. All right. It's a replica throne. Replica throne sitting at $38,750. All right. Almost a real one. And they have Jon Snow's sword that's sitting at $48,000. Anyways, back to video games. Eternal Champions went for $500. The highest thing you saw was 180K? For what, dude? What was 180K in there? Oh my god. I thought those $40,000 items were crazy. Yeah, you have the fuzzy Mario throne, Hamster. You have the good piece anyway. Here's Exile, another renovation game. Only copy of Exile on the Pop Report. Jesus, I feel like I gotta throw a bid at it. 9.8 B plus, only sealed copy, renovation title. We'll see. The Mountain's Armor went for 180K. Insane.
$120.
Yeah, I thought it was the original, which I did think it was going to be insane, right? Like it's not unheard of for Heritage auctions to get $1 million things.
Fair warning.
So it's like, oh yeah, it could be real, right?
$340.
The Hound's signature clothes went higher, 200,000. Oh my god. Is Game of Thrones investable? Like, I don't think it is.
$380.
I really think it's too much of a timepiece. Like, kind of like how Lord of the Rings, 20 years after the fact, isn't nearly as big, cool, exciting as Lord of the Rings used to be. I just feel like 10 to 20 years from now, Game of Thrones won't... It won't have that same aura around it, you know what I mean? I think it's super hard for any kind of TV show or something to, like, hold relevance.
$460.
Lord of the Rings shit goes nuts. I would have to... It's like Star Wars.
$500.
Isn't Game of Thrones Harry Potter for adults or something? I mean, maybe in 10 years the next book would come out. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen, right? You have a crazy old Lord of the Rings pewter chess set that you think might need to try and sell soon? Yeah, I mean, I would have to look at auction results, but I almost feel like if we look at Lord of the Rings auctions from like 2007, we are gonna see almost like obviously from 2007 to 2022, there's a lot of change in money in general, but I assume that a lot of the comps, if we look at older auctions, aren't going to be that far off of newer auctions. Yeah, Star Wars is also super lukewarm, right? Yeah, lukewarm. You got me. Okay, Odin, you got me. There you go. Are you happy? You got me. Fatal Labyrinth, $750, 9.88 plus. Fire Shark, 9.88 plus plus. You wanted a sword? Your wife said hell no for the reason I'm talking about. It makes me nervous. Movie props, movie stuff, it makes me nervous. I mean, I guess video games aren't really that different overall, right? We're still buying a piece of time, like Fire Shark from 1990. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hater. Maybe I'm just a hater on movie props and stuff.
Fair warning.
Why does movie props make you nervous? I just fear who you're going to sell it to in 20 years if the popularity around the IP fades out. Fire Shark, $537.50 into Flicky. Flicky. Don't make me Flicky the Blicky. 9.6 B plus here. This is the Bird and Sonic, I think, is who Flicky is. 80s arcade ports for the console. The character's been in other games, including Sonic the Hedgehog. I think he's like, ah, man, is he just one of the birds you like rescue?
400.
At the end of the level, you know, you press the thing and all the birds come out? The lukewarm comment popped me. Yeah, it freaking got me, dude. He just snuck that in there too smooth. Snuck that in way too smooth. Pushing it way up to $525. Only one of two on the Wada Pop report. The last time 9.6A sold, October 2022, for $1,440. Looking for $550 on this one. It is a B plus versus an A. The B plus makes you cringe. The B plus is tough, man.
$550.
She's all for expensive sports cards, etc., etc. You'll bring her around to video games. Let's go, dude. Are you big in sports cards then? Is that your main your main thing? Your main hobby?
Next lot.
9.68 plus $656. With the poster inside, this guy Gary's, I don't know how to say it, but with the poster, I'm pretty sure that for $650, this is insanely rare, isn't it?
$60.
Another renovation shmup here at like 9.6, oh my god. 9.6A plus with poster from Plattsburgh Collection, October 2022 for $2,400. $656 for a higher grade copy today. I just, man, this has to be a good deal. Gyrus. There it is. Galaxy Force 2, 9.6A plus.
Fair warning.
A plus or bust. That's also the highest copy of Gyrus. Oh my god. Yeah, I almost wish I would have tossed a bid at this. Poker Face, welcome in, dude. It's going good. Sega's flying off the shelves, man. Get it while it's hot. I think it's way easier to convince a regular person that sports cards are like a good idea, valuable, cool. Just because cards themselves have been around forever, right?
$2,600.
I think it's way easier. Funko Pop sports cards, comics, sealed games. Number one Funko Pop, eh? Number one Funko Pop, eh? I mean, boy, what do we do with this? What do we? You were saying all the right things before this. You know what I mean? What do we do? What do we do? That's oh, wow.
$3,200.
Oh boy. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, 9.6 B plus here. Pushing its way at almost $4,000. Yes, it's bad. Are you like deep in Funko Pop? Like, are you in like the, you know, pieces that are worth $1,000 plus? How deep does your Funko rabbit hole go? I've never purchased a Funko Pop. They never appealed to me. Oof, I pray for you, my dude. Yeah.
Fair warning.
Down with Funko, like, boo, ban this guy. Get him out of here. Get the Funko Pop guy out of here. That's bad vibes. That's like one step above furry. Or is it one step below? These are the questions we gotta ask ourselves.
Fair warning.
Ghouls and Ghosts has a B plus seal. Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter. Still $4,125. I think Ghouls and Ghosts is just impossible. Third time selling it here, notoriously difficult. Yeah, holy fuck. The 9.6A plus went for $14,400. $14,400 2 years ago. So like, okay, you know, 9.6 B plus, that's why it's still sold for $4,000. This is truly like Sega Genesis Grail, right? Sega Genesis royalty there on Ghouls and Ghosts. My god, man. You won that 9.6A plus for $14,400. Jesus, dude. That's like, it's a hell of a win. Did that hold up as the nicest copy? Is that the nicest copy on the Pop Report? Hellfire 9.6A plus. One of the only other games published by Seismic. This, Musha, and Super Hydlite, I think. I think there's 3 of them. All of them are pretty decently hard to find. Hellfire 9.6A plus here, pushing above $1,000.
Fair warning.
It is the highest graded copy thus far. There's also a 9.4A plus, so it's debatable. Gotcha. You have the Japanese version of Ghouls and Ghosts. You remember you liked the cover? I did like the cover. That was a very nice game you have, Adam. I have a Super Nintendo version, Japanese, of Ghouls and Ghosts. Or Super Ghouls and Ghosts, I guess. You have about $2,000 pops, and the rest of the $500 are trash. Aw, dude.
Next
Yeah,
lot.
like the thing with Funko, you know, you say that you have some that are worth $100. When you have so many of them that are worth so little, like relatively speaking, right? Anything $50 and under, let's say, is like Funko Pop takes up a lot of real estate for very little value. So if you look at your house and your storage and your rooms and stuff, and it's like, okay, I can only put so much shit in every single room, and you start taking up big cubes of space for like $30, you run out of space really quickly without, like, you know what I mean? Your per dollar per square foot is really bad
$50.
when you have a lot of inexpensive stuff that takes up a lot of place. And it's something I think about too, because like I don't have a lot of space in here, you know what I mean? It's a lot of reason why I got rid of all my Atari shit and television, Coleco. It's cool to own, but like, it's tough. It's tough when you have limited space, finite resources, right? Money, space, all this stuff. We're dealing with finite resources here. Just trying to optimize and maximize. $1,125, 9.68 plus plus Hellfire, Herzog's Way, 9.88 plus plus for $812 in Sector X, 9.68 plus for $425. And games are huge, right? Like a graded video game is also huge, which is why I'm getting rid of some, because it's like, man, I can't keep these in my house. Like, it's only worth $80, $100. Like, I need to just get rid of some of these. And it just is what it is. It's not all about the money, but like, you know, value money and stuff. It all plays into it. John Madden Football, 8.58 plus here we go. The Taiwan Tuck, I believe. Should be a first print, right? First print on Genesis, should be. Pushing its way to almost $2,000.
$1,700.
Thoughts on sending in sealed Elden Ring and Space Marines 2 to get graded? Make sure they're mint. That's all I would say. Make sure the sealed copies of those games you have are mint. If it's not mint, order another copy off Amazon. If it comes in with like issues, send it back and order another copy. Just make sure they're mint, mint, mint. That'd be my only recommendation on those. If you want to send them in for grading, cool, you know? No problem with that. You could cross your game to CGC and get the 9.8. Do it. Do it, hamster. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't know if it matters. You have a 9.4 B G&G? I mean, still, Krills. That's crazy, dude. Madden pushing its way to $3,000. Once that Nicolas Cage movie comes out, once that Nicolas Cage movie comes out about Madden and the video games, are we going to see Madden spike again? I know, Ty. That's why I say it, Joe Kane. That's why I say the Taiwan Tuck. That's what you got to look for on Madden football. If it doesn't have the Taiwan Tuck, like, you don't want it.
$60.
You got to know how to speak the language of Madden. $2,750 for the 8.5 A+. Madden's super cool. I genuinely, like, I personally think once the movie comes out, because the movie that's coming out is all about the game. So, like, I mean, if we're anything like comic books, right, we're going to see a wave of speculation hit Madden.
$700.
You spent $16,000 on NFT Funko Pops during the 2021 crypto bubble. Did you make money on them? Like $16,000 on NFT Funko Pops? It sounds fake. It sounds not real. How much is it? Yeah, you know, it's like, did you make money on that? And if you didn't, how much of that did you lose? Because I assume now in 2024, that $16,000 valuation is very close to zero, right? It has to be. Very little of that shit has held up. Yikes, man. Yikes, man. I hope you won. I hope you were a winner.
Fair warning. $850.
Kid Chameleon 9.28 plus plus pushing its way over $1,000 here. You can either pay for the collection or pay for the house to store the collection, but you can't pay for both. That is so perfect. That is so perfect. I feel like that's how a lot of us are. Or either renting a house or living in a small house, but you have a collection worth like 5 figures, you know what I mean? It's kind of funny to think about. And when they make a Funko for absolutely everything, people don't get around to everything. To get enough interest in all of it, they become less collectible and go in the bin for 10 years. Pops are Beanie Babies?
$480.
But, I mean, that's basically how I see it. Same reason why you got rid of all your Atari stuff. You had 4 big bins of games, consoles, and controllers you never played and or had attachment to it. Yep. That's exactly right. Like, I don't use my Atari stuff, obviously, and I don't, like, largely care about it. So, why should I keep around a complete in-box ColecoVision console, right? When its valuation is only like $150 anyway. Because the way I see with a lot of that inexpensive stuff as well is, okay, let's say I sell it, right? I sell off a bunch of stuff for 80 bucks, 100 bucks, 50 bucks. If I come to the point where I feel like I regret it, like, oh man, I wish I didn't sell my $50, 100, like you can just buy it again, right? You can buy it again. Because a lot of those items in that price range, they're not just going to shoot up 5x. They're not just going to 10x tomorrow. So if you find yourself regretting something in 6 months, the odds of the price moving on any of that stuff is quite low. So it's like you don't have to be afraid of selling, because there is a lot of fear of selling stuff, and I get it. There's FOMO of selling, there's regret, there's all those feelings. You can just buy shit back, right? It's never an all or nothing scenario with cheap stuff especially. Krusty's Funhouse 9.8 A++. Simpsons games, insanely collectible. Insanely collectible. $2,125 on it. Like, I personally don't have nostalgia for Simpsons games, but I know a lot of people do. $2,125 into Lotus Turbo Challenge 9.4A.
$300.
You lost mostly all of it. You still have them, but the value is near zero. Jesus, dude. Rip for fucking Adam Knife. F's in the chat. My gosh, man. Like, I'm sure on something else you made money, you know, I'm sure you did decent in the bubble. I pray you did good in the bubble. But that just hurts, man. 16,000 on Funko Pop NFT. Yeah, there we go. On VV and many other Marvel Disney NFTs, you won 40,000 in around 5 months with only 3,000. Yeah. That's what I figured.
Next lot.
So long as you're not a complete, like, so long as you're not a complete greedy degen with the crypto bubble, all that stuff, you can make money. You just have to know when to get the fuck out. 9.68 plus Madden 94 with the limited edition sticker on it, 750 bucks. Madden, again, like, it's very collectible. Sports games on Genesis are very collectible. 750 bucks there. Miss Pac-Man, 750 into Musha, the game that is on the game that's on the thumbnail for the video. Musha, longtime grail on the Sega Genesis. It is a shmup. It is fun too. Like, it's actually a really good game. 9.6B on this, pushing its way over $2,000. And this has long been like, if you're doing a CIB Genesis, the two grails are Crusader of Senti and Musha. Like, those are the two games. What's the sticker on the back? Oh my god. Oh my gosh, Krills. Maybe you can just peel this off and get yourself a better grade. It's nothing. Nothing. Two stickers that they absolutely should have removed. Maybe some sticker residue here. You might be able to turn this into a B+, man. Maybe? Some shit over here as well you can probably just wash off. This just needed to be cleaned.
Fair warning.
Right? Like, it just needed to be cleaned, honestly. I'm surprised they left it like that. Pushing its way to $4,000. Not slowing down people. Not slowing people down. I think you get a VGA 80 on it, right? You clean that up, take everything off. I don't know how you wouldn't get an 80, 80 plus. Hell, maybe even 85. Maybe even an 85. Then remove the stickers and then get writing impressions on the back. Yeah, turn it into a 9.2 B+. The DFW consigner didn't give a shit. I assume they didn't. I don't know if it's part of the pedigree, Odin. It might have been a conscious decision to leave this stuff in its true state. You know what I mean? Given that they did the pedigree, it might have been like, okay, we're not going to clean any of them. We're not going to remove stickers. We're going to leave all of this in its, like, true found state. Which I guess I see an argument for, you know? Like, I get it. But at the same time, does it matter to leave shitty residue on it or big-ass stickers that don't matter? I personally don't think so. But if you're big on the pedigree, history, provenance side, I guess I can see the argument. Not for me. NBA Jam Tournament Edition 9.68 plus for 450 bucks. NHL 95 9.88 plus. There we go. Highest graded copy of NHL 95. Highest graded copy of Chell 95 coming up here. I missed a message there from you, Dryden. Where was that? Speaking of comics, wonder if we'll start seeing character first appearances matter more, i.e. Shadow in the new Sonic movie, boosting Sonic Adventure 2. It's interesting. That isn't really a thing yet, I would say. First appearance of characters, that is not something that has hit games. Definitely first games in franchises are seeing big boosts. Like, obviously, right? First Mario, first Sonic, first whatever. First NHL, first Madden. That absolutely took over, but we don't see first appearance games, at this point anyway, really get pumps. How's the auction coming? Or more weak? Not a big Sega fan? Genesis is doing pretty good overall. Master System, I would say, was more middling. Nothing really was like super cheap on Master System, but nothing really popped off either. So from my outside, 100 feet away from Master System view, it was just kind of like, okay. But Sega Genesis here, some of the stuff that should get love is definitely getting some love. Musha closed at $4,000 there. NBA Jam Tournament Edition, $450. NHL 95 even broke above $1,000. Outrun 2019, 9.4 A plus here. Like, not every Genesis game is going wild, right? But the ones that I think should be getting love are getting love. Yeah, the Castlevania Bloodlines did really good too. The Castlevania Hang Tab hit Heritage weeks after Discovery. No. It was maybe a month or two that they got the Castlevania Hang Tab there. I think it was about, yeah, it might have been 6 weeks. It was something like that. It wasn't immediate on the turnaround there, Odin. You found a sealed copy of Rystar 6 months ago, but in Germany. The grading for video games sucks and you still haven't gotten it back? Ugh. Who'd you go with? Like Pixel? Who's in Germany? RGA? Do they still exist? Why does CGC continue to insist on the stupid blue labels when the gold looks so nice? Imagine, right, Rick? Imagine, instead of using their frickin' blue branding, they could have just made a unique looking label. You know? They could have just made something original for video games, but they stuck with the blue, man. That CGC blue. That's strong branding right there. Power Monger, 9.8A plus. Electronic Arts. EA actually published a lot of stuff on Sega Genesis. Pixel grading, gotcha. Yeah, people seem to like Pixel. That's about all I can say about it, but people do seem to like Pixel. In the case of sealed video games, you can buy them back at 97% discount. Yes, so never be afraid to sell something, right? Never be afraid. Games only go down. If you sell now, you can just buy in 6 months. The price will be cut in half again, right? Easy. Easy. Infinite money glitch.
$440.
You can't wait for CGC to come out with a better case that's more close to the VGA or WATA new case? I don't know if it's going to happen, Blue Smoke. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't like the blister pack design where they went with the sunken, you know what I mean? Like the label is sunk backwards. It looks like a hang packet. The blue label. For me, it doesn't do much at all. I just don't know if they're ever going to change it. Like, I love the flush look of both VGA and WATA a lot more. Powermonger, slowly but surely, pushing its way up to $750. Only 2 copies on the Genesis. This is the nicer one. Nicest copy they've sold at Heritage.
$650.
Not the most popular game on the console here, pushing its way to $800.
$700.
Oh, geez, I gotta do a little check here on the Thursday night game.
$750.
Gotta do a little check on the the Seahawks and the Niners.
$100.
Just a quick check here. Just a quick check. 10-0 Niners. That's what we like to see. Easy. 10-0 Niners. Easy.
Next lot. $280. $300.
I don't even remember what my I don't even remember what the bet is tonight. We need Purdy under attempts. We need Metcalf 5 catches. We need Jordan Mason over yards. There's something else on there. What was that other thing?
$420.
Don't even remember now. Need one more thing on that ticket there. 10-0 start is beautiful. That's what we like to see.
$500. $550.
Seahawks, I have money on most games. Absolute degen over here. You guys show up to the live stream so I can waste my money gambling. It's a perfect symbiotic relationship. Predator 2, 9.8A. What do we got?
Fair warning.
Yeah, Brock Purdy under, Jordan Mason over. Oh, Brock Purdy under rushing yards. That sucks. He already took for a 10-yard rush. That's terrible. He needs under 16 rushing yards. That's dicey, man. That's dicey. Brock Purdy under 16 rushing yards. He already has 10. That's dicey. Predator 2, 687.50. Powermonger 9.88 plus for 937.50. Revenge of Shinobi 9.68 plus. Would I bet on auctions? No. No, I would not.
Fair warning.
Doing over under on an auction just sounds dumb. I don't bet over under on sports either. I don't like that bet. The only game that matters right now in your world is Yankees versus Royals in the playoffs. And yes, you're a jerk. I'm a Yankees fan. That's what I like to hear. Baseball's the one sport I don't really... Baseball's just never done it for me. Baseball's never done it for me. Revenge of Shinobi, 9.68 plus. Oh, it's a Euro version. I was about to say, man, 325 is a snag. Yeah, Joe Kane, dude, that's funny. I was gonna toss a bid, dude. I was. 325, I was like, oh my god. Yeah, Euro version on Revenge of Shinobi. Game I grew up playing on Genesis, like obviously a Genesis staple. Yeah, 325 bucks, Euro copy. 9.8A here on Rocket Knight Adventure.
Fair warning.
I don't know if this is the good variant or not. It says 10-digit UPC. I don't know if that's an update or early version. 750 bucks on Rocket Knight Adventures. This is, man, this is one of the hardest games in the world, in my opinion, to see the title. Like, it's on the screen, right? The title of the game is, you can't see it. You can't see it. And it took me forever to learn what this frickin' game was called because I could never see the title of the game. 9.8A plus copy here. And I'm not going to say it. I'm going to just, like, force you to find it. I'll give you another 10 seconds here if you want to try and look for it. A terrible title or a terrible cover just because you can't see the name of the game. In my humble opinion. You glad you grabbed Jewel Master? Somewhat hidden Genesis game? Pissed how high you had to go so you not try to look at the comps too hard? How much did Jewel Master go for?
Next lot.
781, hey. I'm surprised Jewel Master got that much love. Damn tax. This has to be really early Genesis, hey, on Jewel Master? 1991? What year did the Genesis come out? 90? Jewel Master in A+ is like impossible. Saint Sword! Sold for 550 bucks. That's what it is. It's Saint Sword. Title is in yellow. The whole box is in yellow. It's awful. Shadow Blasters, 9.8A++. Again, this is Sage's creation. Mentioned them earlier there with the Devilish game. Genesis came out in 1989. Nah, Jewel Master isn't even that early then. That's not even that early then.
Fair warning. Next lot. $360. $400. $420. $460.
Shinobi 3, 9.8A+. Shadow Blasters, 937.50. I'd like to get all three Shinobi games at some point. I'm pretty sure Shinobi is impossible. Why is this Shinobi so cheap? Slowly but surely you're getting some love. I mean, even a CGC 9.8A++ though, only went for 960 bucks, Hamster. That's October 2023. Shinobi 3 just doesn't get any love anymore? Highest graded copy out of 12 of this variant. Should be a first production copy, right? I would think. Pushing its way up to $1,000 now. Like, in my head, if you just asked me outright, I would have said this game should be more expensive, but like, looking for $1,000 right now. That's it. Closed. Done deal. No love for Shinobi 3, man. 9.8A+, 937.50. Skeleton Crew. 9.0A, the only copy on the Pop Report. Very rare game. Cardboard box only. Cult classic. All that good stuff. Pushing it to over $2,000 immediately. Even finding CIBs of this is like, it's just a rare game.
Fair warning.
Rare game. Is Sonic and Knuckles criminally underpriced most of the time, or is it just way more available than you think it is? I don't think it's criminally underavailable or criminally underpriced. 85 plus last went for $1,375. How much do you think this should sell for? I don't think it's the most common game in the world.
$850.
You know. But seems cheap to you? Well, I mean, pick it up. It's $1,000 right now, Joe. It's a cardboard only game as well, so finding really nice copies isn't easy because they actually get damaged. It's cardboard. Selling for sub 1,000 or 1,000 right on the nose. Maybe you're onto something, Joe. Maybe you're onto something. Hamster might be able to answer better. There probably were some case packs of Sonic and Knuckles. I would say that. There probably were some, but I can't pinpoint it nearly as much as, you know, Perfect Dark or Gauntlet Legends or something. But I think there were some copies of Sonic and Knuckles, yes. But someone else would have to chime in. Sonic 2, 90 plus. Man, even if this is a reprint, like even if this is the second print, yeah, it is. It's a second print copy for $700. I think that's good. I think that's cheap for a Sonic 2 just to get yourself one in the collection, you know what I mean?
Fair warning.
Space Harrier 2, 9.88 plus. Like, obviously not a first print, but like, get yourself a copy of Sonic, man. Everyone should have a copy of Sonic in their collection, right? I think they should. Space Harrier 2, 9.88 plus, pushing over $1,000. There's so many Sonic and Knuckles on the Wada Pop report. Okay, so yeah, like I think there were some. How many are there? How many of the Sonic and Knuckles are high copies, Krills? Is there like a concentration of 94, 96, 98? $1,200 for Space Harrier 2 into Maximum Carnage 9.68 plus. Super cool. Limited edition red cartridge inside there, pushing its way to almost $700.
Next lot. $280.
How do you tell a first print on Sonic 2? What is it? I do it by the seam pattern. Like if you have a left-right side, if you have a 3-side seam, it's a later print. If you have the tube seam, it's first print. What's the actual language though? Someone tell me the actual language they use on the back for Sonic. I don't remember. It's like made in the USA versus printed in the USA. Assembled in USA versus printed in USA. It's small text there difference, but there's also a seal difference on it. I just can't remember what the small text is different on it. Maximum Carnage, $625 there. Steel Talons, $375 for the 9.88 plus. Target Earth, 9.8 A plus plus. I think Maximum Carnage is limited where when you have the black one, you never see that. I wasn't sure, Johans, if this one was actually hard to find in the early production black cartridge, or at least I assume it's early production, right? To get the black cartridge. But I also do kind of wonder if collectors would just want the red one anyway.
$800. $850.
Regarding Shinobi 3, there is a made in Japan early print, only 3. Then the overlap, which went tonight, has 12. Gotcha.
Fair warning.
So the how much has the early print copy then sold for, Hamster? In my head, Shinobi should just be more valuable because it's Shinobi, but like, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Target Earth, $1,000 for the 9.88 plus. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, 9.68 plus on this. You're wrong about Sonic and Knuckles. Is it actually rare?
Next lot.
Actually rare?
$480. $600.
You ended up grabbing the Sonic and Knuckles. There we go. Joe Kane. You're talking about how cheap it is? GT100 made the purchase. 44 Sonic and Knuckles. Yeah, that is a little bit higher. 1494s, 496, 398. Yeah, so 44 definitely does put it into the much more common Sega Genesis realm. That just is, right? A lot of Genesis games are freaking Pop 5, so 44 is there's some to go around. There's some to go around. So that's probably why we don't see it absolutely pop off, right? Because there are 44 copies on Wada's Pop Report alone. But yeah, cool to grab. Like Sonic and Knuckles, obviously. Super cool game, and with the new Sonic movie coming out, I can only assume Knuckles as a character is going to get more valuable, more expensive, right? Like, I greatly assume that as well. So perhaps grabbing it for $1,000 right now, 29 VGA as well. Yeah, perhaps grabbing it for $1,000 right now is the right play.
Next lot.
Perhaps that's the right play right there.
$800.
Only Sega today, Jose. So we already had Sega Master System. Now we have Genesis. Then we have Game Gear, Dreamcast. And then I think we're done. Only Sega today.
$400.
Thunder Force 2, 9.68++ for $1,100. Thunder Force 3, 9.88+. Fourth time selling it from Dallas Fort Worth, 9.88+. Last sold. Yeah, this grade, 9.88+. Last sold, it was a WATA copy, October 2022 for $2,160. This copy right now is pushing its way to almost 1,800. Oh, almost 2,000. We might see one of these games actually sell for as much as it did 2 years ago. Not too shabby. Not too shabby here.
Fair warning.
Looking for $2,000 on Thunder Force 3. Got it. Looking for a new record. I think that'd be the highest graded or the highest sold copy ever. If we get like one more bid here. You kind of like the sticker on Thunder Force? Ah, yeah, man. It's super sick. It's a super cool sticker. Electronics Boutique on there. Like it's definitely a more nostalgic one for me too. Looking for $2,500 on it.
$2,200.
Jordan Mason goes to the sideline. Great. Is that my bet dead right there? Looking for $2,750 on it. Still going, man. Still going. Right here, you can see someone had an internet max bid of $2,154. So now we have a new high bidder. This is probably where it's going to end.
Fair warning.
Probably. Someone new would have to enter now. Yeah, okay, that's what I figured.
$480.
$1,100 on Thunder Force 2 and $2,750. A brand new record price on this as far as I can tell.
Fair warning.
Should be the highest price it's ever hit. Tiny Toons Adventure Busters Hidden Treasures. Yeah, that sticker's the only thing keeping it from being a 9.2. Yes, yes, yes. That sticker, the only thing keeping it away from 9.2. Can't remove it. Leave it on there. Buster's Hidden Treasures goes for $587.50. Toe Jam and Earl. Panic on Funkotron. The second Toe Jam and Earl game on the console. Pushing its way up to almost $600 here. 9 copies on the VGA Pop Report. VGA 85 on this one. I love seeing the VGA numbers, hey? How great is that? $612. It is simply disgusting that we still don't have CGC numbers. Right? Makes no goddamn sense. Why don't we have CGC numbers yet? Looking for $550 here on True Lies for Sega Genesis. I'd love to know how many copies of this are graded. I'd love to know if this is the nicest copy on the Pop Report. $525 for some True Lies into Truxton. 9.48+. Only 2 copies have a higher grade out of just 6. Another like cult classic shooter on the Genesis. Another shmup. Look, oh man, I was gonna cut bid that. $250 just feels cheap. I'll go ahead and toss a bid. True Lies is an awesome game and movie. Maybe they don't know how to make a Pop Report. Maybe they don't. That was VGA's problem for many years, man. That was VGA's problem.
$320.
You've been outbid.
I'm not interested in an Arnold game if he has a shirt on. Yeah, exactly. Why is he wearing so many clothes in this one? Why is he wearing so many clothes? Looking for $425 on Truxton here. I still think it's cheap, which is why I'm tossing a couple bids at it. It just, you know, if I was going to win that for $400, it just feels cheap. 9.68+ earlier this year went for $1,600. 9.88+ in August went for $1,800. The 9.4 right now is looking for $500. You also love True Lies as well as T2. I don't even think I've seen True Lies, to be completely honest with you guys. I don't think I've seen True Lies. Like, is it actually great? Obviously, I've heard about it from video games and everything, but like, I don't think I've ever seen it.
$440.
Oh, is your name a reference from Tehran? What is your Tehran Tutuez? Tutuez? Tehran Tutez? Tuez? Tehran Tuez? I don't know how to say your name. I don't know what your name's a reference to. True Lies is a good movie. True Lies is his best movie. Wow.
Fair warning. $480.
Truxton pushing its way up over $600 now. Now, was I interested in this Genesis game, Goatsy? I was interested in selling it. Because at $300, it was just way too damn cheap.
Fair warning.
T2Z. T2Z.
$550. Bidding is continuing.
Or T2s. Tyrone T2s? Tyrone T2s? I don't know if the Arnold games are worth playing. I assume not. I assume this game is abysmal.
$600.
Right? I assume this game is very bad. Man, Brock Purdy just killed my ticket. What a dick. Why is he out there running for his life? There's no reason for Purdy to be running today. That sucks. That sucks. Second quarter, everything's looking good. Purdy killed it. Truxton 9.48 plus, looking for $800 now. True Lies is fantastic. Really?
$700.
Tehran T2s. There it is. Tehran T2s.
Fair warning.
This is the slowest game ever? Yes. Remember, I was going to win this for like $300 back then. Yeah, I bid $400 on it. Now we're looking for $938. Absolutely bleeding the clock on this game. And I am going to use it as a chance to go to the bathroom quick. 1 second.
$800. Fair warning. Next lot. $440. $480. Fair warning. $500. $550. $600. $650. $700. $750. Fair warning. $800. $850.
Twin Cobra. Third time at Heritage Auctions here. Yeah, just in time. All we had was Truxton go. All we had was Truxton go. Twin Cobra pushing its way over $1,000. I'm actually surprised. 9.68 plus plus here. Haven't seen it at Heritage since 2021. Highest graded example. I'm just surprised this game's getting some love. You know, like that just sold for $1,000. It just sold for more than Truxton, which I'm just kind of surprised. Is there something about Twin Cobra that I just don't know? Because it's never stood out to me as being anything. Two Crude Dudes, 9.6A. Why do people bid slow? I don't know if they're hoping the other person like gets sick of it. I don't know if it's like, you know, I don't know. I don't know the full rationale there for why people just bleed the clock. A war of attrition, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they hope the other person gets impatient, right? Gets sick of it. $450 for Two Crude Dudes there. Universal Soldier, 9.88 plus plus. Does anyone know your avatar picture? Hint, Sean Baby? I have no idea what your picture is.
Next lot. $320.
I have no idea. $450 on Two Crude Dudes. Universal Soldier, $687.50 there.
Warning. Next lot. $320.
Urban Strike, 9.68 plus for 387.50 into Valis 3, 9.68 plus. Another renovation title here. Only the fourth time at Heritage. The last time this sold, 9.68 plus, only $500, November 2023. Yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds very cheap to me for a renovation title. And Valis? Like two things people like on Sega Genesis? This 9.68 plus is already looking for $750, blowing past the sale from a year ago. That Wada one from November 2023 just seems cheap though. $500? Selling for $687.50 today. Whip Rush, 9.88 plus plus, another renovation title here, 1990 early, looking for $575 on it. The last 9.88 plus plus was Wada from October 2022 for $1,560. Valis 3 is the only good Valis game. I've never played any of them. I'm just familiar with the series, right? Twin Cobra is a rare black box game. Does it like appeal to does it appeal to like full set collectors, Hamster? I've just never really seen anyone talk about it.
Fair warning. $950.
These prices are slightly out of your league. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm not exactly going to win a lot of these either. I don't exactly buy a ton of video games in the $1,000 range myself, but, you know, we do what we can. It just appeals to Genesis collectors in general. It's a decent game, similar to Tiger Heli for SNES. Whip Rush, $1,125. In general, like, these showcase auctions are for, like, higher, you know, just higher wealth clients, higher money people. The showcase auctions are where the good shit comes out. The weekly auctions are where you get more, normal people stuff, I guess I would say. You might see stuff in like the 100 to 500 range, where showcase auctions are like largely 500 plus, to be honest. So you just kind of have them separated there. Yeah, Wolfchild is amazing cover art on the Genesis. 9.68 plus, top copy of Wolfchild out of just 4. Looking for $375. Is the game actually good, Hamster, or is the title just amazing? Or the cover art? Because obviously it's always stood out to me too. I think I even own a CIB copy of this. There are not many JVC published games. No, absolutely not. Weird to see a JVC published, and I think that's why the cover art also stands out so much. The game is like a 6 out of 10. A 6.5 maybe. Wow, that's a good game right there.
Fair warning.
The turtle wins the race. Your friend just grabbed 4 shmups. Got some very weak hands going on tonight. There we go, Gino. I mean, I think some of those really good titles there are
fair warning.
Are going for like we're just not seeing them explode, right? I guess that's the best way I can put it. We're not seeing a lot of the games like pop off, explode. We did have the Castlevania Bloodlines.
Fair warning.
There were a couple others, but like a lot of this 9.8 A++ stuff here with the pedigree Dallas Fort Worth isn't getting ridiculous pricing. It still feels fully within the, like, you know what I mean? Like, very reasonable. Within what it should do. Not outside of the realm of, you know?
Next lot.
Wolfchild closing at $525. So I guess that's why you're grabbing some of these shmups. Maybe you feel the same way, Gino. Is that a lot of these, or some of these, are just selling for, like, very attainable pricing. World Championship Soccer, VGA 90. Man, for a second there, I thought this was the European copy. On the VGA census, this is the highest out of just 5. One of the first Genesis titles after the original launch. Yeah, September 1989. Super early soccer game here. I can only assume it's very hard to find this sealed. Looking for $213.50.
Fair warning. Next lot. $600. $700.
$200 for it. I guess no one really cares. You know? Very early, maybe even very rare, but no one cares. WWF Super WrestleMania is the last game in the Sega Genesis block. We have 31 more games to close out the auction here. Game Gear, Dreamcast, Sega, Saturn, all that, all the other Sega consoles are going to come up now in these final 30 games, so hold on to your hats, folks. Hold on to your... Where's my piece of paper? I had a piece of paper with timestamps. Where the hell? Oh, here it is. Ah, here it is.
Fair warning.
Game Gear is the next thing up here. An hour 24 into the auction. It'll be probably a sub 2-hour auction today. Not too shabby, not too shabby.
400.
And then I can go out and grab some food. I'm gonna go grab a big ass deli sandwich.
$40.
Have myself a good night after this. And tax money! You have yourself a good night too, man. I appreciate you coming out to the auction. What are you saying here, Sanford? And some art, vinyl banners, and... Oh, there's some art to close out. Really? Vinyl banners? I didn't realize we had all the,
$140.
the cool stuff at the end here. Yeah, look at that Sonic promotional Sonic 3 banner. That is freaking great. Retail store advertising poster. Vinyl banner for Taz. Yeah, this is cool. There's some cool stuff closing out here. Some original art and some original advertisement pieces. So don't go anywhere, folks. Don't go anywhere. Starting off Game Gear with Axe Battler, a Legend of Golden Axe. VGA 85 on this. Just the fact that it has, you know, it's part of Golden Axe. It has that that game series tied to it. Has always made this a bit more of a collectible Game Gear title. I have no idea if the game's good or not. No clue whatsoever. But I know it's one that has some value, even as a CIB. And I'm guessing it's just because it's tied to Golden Axe, but...
$500.
This is the top copy on the VGA census out of just 4. Jesus. And this is getting love, man. VGA 80 last sold April last year for $360. And the 85 top pop on VGA, pushing its way over $800 now, or looking for over $800. On any Game Gear game, that's pretty fucking good. Those Sonic displays are amazing and super undervalued. Right now they are. I mean, we'll see what they end for. But I agree, what they're sitting at right now is extremely enticing, King of Kings. Did you miss a lot? Obviously not at Sega. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Fair warning.
This Game of Thrones auction is exhausting. 9.5 hours, 46 more lots to go. Holy shit. Wow. $781 for Axe Battler into Columns 9.2A plus. Actually like this is an original print copy of the game here. I don't think it's that easy to find this. Yeah, first time selling it on Game Gear, or selling it at Heritage, I mean. Doesn't say the pop report on it. Columns looking for $325.
$280.
You forgot about the Game of Thrones auction? Ms. Kip is streaming it, as if. As if that Game of Thrones auction is that big. That, like, you know, you have everyone just getting in there.
Fair warning.
That's crazy.
Next lot. $22.95.
$325 for Columns into Defenders of Oasis. 8.5A plus on this. We can go ahead and toss some bids here at Oasis just because, like, you know, 8.5A plus, it's just cheap still.
$240.
You've been outbid.
There we go. Now we're looking for $300 on it. I'm saving us all time here, you know? That's what I'm doing. I'm pushing the bid to save us all some time.
$300. $320. $340.
Yeah, now it's pushing over $400 easy. Defenders of Oasis is, I think it's one of the better games actually on Game Gear as far as RPGs go. I think it's an RPG, right? Yeah, it's an RPG. I think it might even be a decent game. It's always had value, even as a CIB, even as a cartridge, which makes me think it's actually a good game. Looking for $550 on it now. Anytime a Game Gear cartridge has some value, it's like, oh, it might actually be a decent game. You know what I mean?
$480. $500. $550.
Pushing its way now to $750. Pushing here, pushing. Yeah, this is why I was placing bids on it at like $300, right?
$700.
This is why I was putting on some bids. I had no fear that this game was worth well over $500. Had no fear whatsoever. One of your Sega buddies has an actual box of the Sonic 3 Lifesavers. You might have to get that banner for him. I mean, dude, if that banner's going to sell for like $100, I'll just bid on it, right? What's it at right now? $162.50? Zoomer Doom, Sonic 3 coming February 2nd, 1994. with the Lifesavers advertisement there. Yeah, I mean, for 160 bucks, that's a great banner. Oh, Hiko, I was bidding you up on this. Well, hell, I didn't even come close. I bid 250 bucks. We're now looking for 1,250 on this. Defenders of Oasis having a good day here on Game Gear. Maybe Game Gear is going to be competitive today, Hiko. This is, you know, I expected this to do good. This is doing better than I expected. Looking for 1,500 now. 8.58 plus Defenders of Oasis on Game Gear. Damn, dude. I am not cut bidding. No, I am not doing a damn thing with this. Looking for 1,600. Looking for 1,700. Game Gear getting some love, indeed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Obviously a very niche console. There aren't many people who collect for Game Gear, but like, damn, dude. They're showing up here. They are showing up here. Looking for 1,800 now. It's going to be one of the most expensive items in the auction at this point. 8.58 plus Defenders of Oasis on Game Gear. Almost $2,000. We're looking for 1,875. Looking for $2,000. There's not a lot in this auction that sold over $2,000. This is crazy, man. Crazy to see.
Next lot.
Wow. $1,875. Wow. All right. Fatal Fury Special VGA 85. Only 2 copies on the VGA Pop Report. Never at Heritage Auctions before. Always been a rare Game Gear game. Always been one of those keep your eyes open. Like this is, you know, this has been on rarity lists forever if you're a Game Gear collector. Fatal Fury Special pushing its way up to 375 bucks right now. Looking for 400 bucks. Oh. How many of these are you going to be bidding on, Hiko, here? That's the question here. How many of these are you going to be bidding on? Fatal Fury Special for 375. Man, it feels like a snag after we just saw Oasis go for $2,000. Like 375 feels like nothing, you know? Joe Montana Football VGA 90. By far the nicest copy they've ever sold out of just 3. Top example they've slit on the VGA Pop Report as well. Top example on the VGA. I wonder if the VGA Pop Report is really influencing these Game Gear prices here. Now that people can be confident that none of this shit exists. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what we're seeing. Maybe we're seeing the VGA Pop Report numbers actually matter. Yeah, man, the Oasis Pop, dude. That's yours. Congrats. Congrats on that.
$130.
Joe Montana Football, $687.50. Into Revenge of Drancon, 85 plus. This is a game, Adventure Island, Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy, but they got rid of the Wonder Boy title for some reason, so it makes no sense. 85 plus on this.
Next lot.
Yeah, it sold for nothing. This is just a deal. $212.50. Rise Star VGA 80. Only 3 copies on the VGA Pop Report. Jesus, first time at Heritage. Looking for 400 bucks on Rise Star. Defenders of Oasis is a $400 CIB, but you figured it could go for like 300? Yeah, that's what I bid, around 300. I was hoping to get it for around 300, Hamster. Rise Star, $387.50. Not a lot of love there, Joe. Not a lot of bids, not a lot of love on Rise Star. The Terminator VGA 85. Only 1 of 4 copies on the VGA Sense Report. On the VGA Pop Report. Looking for 425 on the Terminator. So many of these games here, like, you'll just never see factory sealed. Like, never mind VGA Pops. Like, you just won't find a factory sealed copy of Terminator. There aren't a ton of collectors in general. And I'm so surprised that we saw Defenders of Oasis. It makes me think it was just a 2-person party, right? Because all these other Game Gear games haven't exactly been getting the same kind of pop here. $400 for Terminator, X-Men 85 plus with the free cards inside. Early production copy here. Pushing its way to almost 450.
Next lot.
Selling for 437.50. Yeah, the rest of the Game Gear stuff went quick, man. Not a ton of live action bidding on that. Just that Defenders of Oasis. Just the Defenders of Oasis. Here's the Game Gear console, VGA 75. 6 examples of this one on the VGA Pop Report. I don't think this is the earliest example, though. I think that's a mid-print Game Gear, I think. $1,125 there. I think it's a middle print. I think. I I think. And Sega CD into Sega 32X into the posters, art, and we're almost done here. 20 more lots to go. Batman and Robin 9.88++. That's nice. Really cool there. 562.50. Jurassic Park 9.88+. Third highest graded copy for a sparse pop of just 14 of them. Yeah, it was only an 80 on the Rystar. I agree. Not the, you know, not the best grade in the world, but still, Rystar is a big game. Here's Lodestar 9.88+. I do not know anything about this. Top copy of Lodestar on the Wada Pop report.
Fair warning.
Last sold for 575 back in April this year.
Next lot.
This copy closes for 350. Did someone just buy and did someone, like, you know, is this the same copy? Did someone try to buy and sell?
$700. $1,900.
Is this the same copy someone lost $100, $200 on? Seems odd to me. Mortal Kombat 9.88++. That's nice, man. It sucks there's a sticker right on the word mortal. This is just more combat. Mort Combat. It's like Bart looking for his name. Mort. Mortal Kombat 9.88++. Hey, you're never gonna convince me that sticker's a good idea. Pushing its way though to almost $3,000 frickin' dollars. Nicest Sega CD copy they've ever sold here. Pushing up to almost $3,000 here. Jesus, man.
$2,600.
Elon Musk helped develop Lodestar. You've been looking for a 9.8 for a very long time. Immense potential. People will pay for whatever the amount Elon-related stuff. Did you pick it up then, Adam Knife? That's crazy. As if Elon had something to do with that.
$800.
Yeah, A++. How dare I question it, right? How dare I question it? That's an A++ there if I've ever seen it. Looking for $3,500 frickin' dollars now on Mortal Kombat Sega CD. Very cool. Cool to see Sega CD like Mortal Kombat get some love there. You did buy it? That's cool. Cool pickup, man. Very cheap too to speculate on that if that's what you're doing. And you got the Mortal Kombat. That was less cheap.
Fair warning. $460. $500.
You sent in a mint Castlevania 3 CIB and you got a 9.4, so I was like, oh no, gotta sell one, but you're selling the CIB? Yes, you damn right you sell that CIB. That sealed one's like a top popper, man. It's damn close. 3,250 for the Mortal Kombat into Robo Aleste 9.4A. Rare, expensive, valuable even as a CIB here on Robo Aleste. It's just one of the better Sega CD games. 9.4A here pushing for 875.
Fair warning.
Yeah, it feels like a weird piece of speculation to grab that. The game there published by, what's it called? Or that Elon Musk had something to do with, but like, hey, maybe. Maybe.
Fair warning.
There's dumber things to speculate on.
$50.
Yes, right, this is with Musha. Sequel to Musha. Yes, dude, I'm glad you said that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I totally forgot about that. The write-up says that as well.
Fair warning.
So Musha, extremely rare fucking game on Genesis, actually got a sequel on Sega CD. And of course it's all so expensive, right? Like, of course. Looking for $1,125 now. Yeah, Aleste games in general, very sought after. You're playing with a great franchise.
Next lot.
Great franchise stuff here.
$40.
$1,062.50 on the Robo Aleste. Into Wing Commander 9.6A+. Yeah, Robo Aleste, Musha, just cool stuff.
Fair warning.
Cool stuff. Who doesn't like giant robots, right?
Next lot.
Wing Commander selling for $275. Virtua Fighter 9.4A+. And then we have the Virtua Fighter Special Training Pack. Still sitting at only $40 here. Virtua Fighter pushing its way up to $275. Looking for $275. Joe Kane, are you butt cheeks clenched, man? Sitting at $40? The live auction's about to start? Are we nervous, dude?
Fair warning.
Virtua Fighter closing at, are pushing still, looking for $300.
Fair warning.
I mean, hey, if we didn't open up all of our games as kids, none of this stuff would be valuable, you know?
Next lot.
It goes hand in hand.
$12. $800.
Oh my god! Whoo! There's the bids. Holy shit, we just went from $40 to over $1,000 immediately. I don't know if I've ever seen bidding that fast, that quick, that high. We are now looking for $1,125. The bidding was $40 before this opened up on the live. Oh my gosh, man. VJ80 qualified. That's wow. Okay. 1,062. All right. All right. Hopefully you're happy with that, Joe. That did something. That did something. It includes a t-shirt, you get a VHS, you get a coupon. It's like a promotional thing for Virtua Fighter. So it doesn't actually include the game. It just has, like, you know, everything else, I guess. It's Virtua Fighter Special Training Pack. It's something that I had never seen before it was put up for auction, Odin. Like, I only just learned about this myself. Panzer Dragoon 85 qualified, $750. A super nice CIB copy of Panzer Dragoon, right? Shining Wisdom 85 qualified on this as well.
Fair warning.
Yeah, qualified on Sega Saturn, Sega CD and stuff. It's like qualified PS1. Like I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's just a nice CIB, right? It's just a really nice CIB. I don't think you're gonna convince me otherwise on this one.
Next lot. 170.
Shining Wisdom, $212. I'm gonna choke. Don't send help.
Fair warning.
I have chosen my fate. We're back. We're back, boys. We're back. Shining Wisdom for $212, I think is cheap.
$60.
I think even as a CIB, this is cheap. Yeah, same with Panzer, right? Like, isn't it $800, $900 still CIB? Has the value of this finally gone down? Because $750, like, I get it's qualified, but at bare minimum, you get a really nice CIB. So, like, yeah, $750 is a great price for his. That's what I figured. It's kind of what I was figuring there. Virtua Cop 9.88++. Highest graded copy on the Wada Pop report.
Fair warning.
Virtua, hey, was just the shtick. Sega loves its Virtua stuff.
Next lot. $1.
$375 for Virtua Cop. Now we enter into the last pieces of the auction. Oh,
$44.
this is Pete McDonald, Mondo's Fight Palace 2, pages of original unused video game preliminary art Genesis.
$46.
Originally, the Sega Genesis game Slaughter Sport was set to be published by Activision under the title Mondo's Fight Palace. I don't even know Slaughter Sport either, though, as a game. This is just, like, way too deep in the Sega rabbit hole for me. But you get these original pages here of art for it, which is always pretty cool. But it's something that I just don't know about.
$65.
You know? Just not something that I know about here. Pushing its way up to $94. Slaughter Sport is one of the worst games of all time. Ever. Oh, there you go. There you go, hey?
$75. $80.
We also get Eternal Champions 2 pages of original art as well, which those should do better. Eternal Champions is actually a game people know. This one being like a niche title, looking for $119 on it. I don't want to say anything one way or the other. Maybe this stuff is your shtick, right? Maybe you're deep into this, so I don't want to yuck your yum, as they say. If this is your thing, you go for it. $129 here. What do you think about the Switch game Super Mario 3D All-Stars value going up? I wouldn't say I'm surprised it's gone up, but I just don't think it's something you want to own in 5 to 10 years. I fully feel like the value of Mario 3D All-Stars is fully dependent on them not porting those games again. If they port Galaxy, Sunshine, if they do that again in any way, shape, or form, I feel like that game has no value. Because the demand right now, right? Like, okay, limited release, whatever it is, there's so many copies out there. It's not rare. So the demand has to also have gamers in there. So gamers are also propping it. Yeah, points to my YouTube video. Don't talk about that. There's gamers also propping the value of that. So, like, if those games become easier, more accessible on the Switch 2 or whatever the hell it's going to be called, there's no reason then to own the original one. So as soon as the gamers leave, I think that game is screwed. And I think we will see those games ported again in the future. I think in the future, there's going to be no need to own physical in order to play games like that. That's my own bet. It's just like, you know, if you have one, cool. If you have multiple, maybe sell a couple, get back your principal, sit on some, like...
Next lot.
You know, I just don't think I don't think it's a strong matters either way.
$34.
If you bought a bunch of copies at $50, at $40, like, congrats, right? You're doing good. But I don't think it's going to be like a $300, $400, $500 game in the future.
$44.
I'm skeptical anyway.
$6. $48.
Hence my original video saying, like, don't bother, don't waste your money on All-Stars. But, you know, the price as of now has doubled, I think. I think they're selling around $100. I think $100 on eBay. I think. I haven't looked in. Eternal Champions original video game art again here. This is Pete McDonald once again, pushing his way over $100. The Mondo's Fight Palace did push its way all the way up to $181. You felt the same way, so you sold them? Yeah, like, it's not, you know, it's not a huge deal to sit on a few copies anyway if you want to. Like, if you believe in Mario 3D All-Stars, spend $100, you know? Buy a copy, buy 2 copies. It's not a huge thing anyway, if you want to speculate on it. But it's just not something that I personally feel has a lot of future outlook. The Eternal Champions art is pushing its way up to $188 as well, looking for $200 now. It's always funny, we get to the artwork, man. Like, we go the whole auction, you know, pretty decent pace, pretty continuous pace. And then we get to the artwork, and it's like, I don't know what's up with the bidders, man. I don't know what's up with the bidders of people on this art. They take forever. They take so long. We're pushing now, going to $300. They're clicking the bid button now. Nintendo is gearing more towards online services. Those 3D All-Stars games will be on the online subscription service, but you can't imagine the games from 3D All-Stars will be released physically again. That's a reason why it might retain some value.
$280.
Like, yes, right? I will say that. If they don't get another physical release, like, yes, it might.
$300.
Those games, like, we might get a Mario Galaxy collection, right? Includes Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 HD updates. Might happen. Mario All-Stars again for, say,
Fair warning.
2030 or whatever the 30th anniversary is. Maybe it comes with Mario 1, 2, 3 Galaxy and Super Mario Sunshine again. Like, Nintendo repackages shit so much that I personally don't want to have to hope that they just don't get released again. It's not something I want to gamble on. I would rather an item where it doesn't matter about the gameplay, you know? I don't want to have to rely on gamers. Sonic the Hedgehog retail poster from 1991 immediately shot up over $800. $812.50. Oof. The artwork bidders slow roll the entire deal like they're gambling 401k money. Seriously, man. Is it 2025? I don't know what the year is on that, Odin. But you know what I mean, right? Zoom or Doom, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, coming February 2nd, 1994. Looking for $300 on this banner. Man, that's I think it's cheap. $300 to get the retail vinyl poster. $300? I think it's cheap, man. Getting actual vinyl store display pieces is not easy. $300 isn't a lot. I almost wish I would have bid, but at the same exact time, where the fuck am I putting this? You know? I talk about space and everything, getting rid of stuff. Like, I would love to buy this, but I can't even hang it up. Is this the issue of being like a responsible adult? This sucks. Life sucks. I just want to waste my frickin' money on Sonic posters. This is Tom DuBois, Rocket Knight Adventures, Sparkster, original video game character concept art. So kind of a cool game there with Sparkster, Tom DuBois, known artist, pushing its way up over $300. Yeah, put them next to the Funko Pop, exactly, right? I'm gonna have that Sonic 3 thing, like, folded up, stacked beside some Funko Pop in the closet. It's exactly where that would go. Feels like a cheap price, but...
$320.
Did you end up winning it, Joe? The marketing stuff is such another rabbit hole? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's, I love it. Obviously, I have a few pieces here. The Pokemon one, the Mario one. There's Ocarina of Time right here. I have Mario Party 1. Like, I love marketing stuff, promotional material. I love that stuff. It's beautiful. Right? It displays awesome. It's like the ultimate display piece. You have an original store advertising banner. What's better? Right? What is better to put on your wall? I guess if you own the original artwork, but like... For most people, the best you can do is get the original store advertisements. You had to tap out on the Sonic banner and the Eternal art. Went over where you needed to be on it. Ah, that sucks, dude. I thought for 300 you might have grabbed it. I thought for 300 you might have.
$3.
The Rocket Knight Tom DeBois art, $500 on that. And here's Taz, another banner here. This is Taz Escape from Mars for both Genesis and Game Gear. If the Sonic one went for what, like $300? Surely this one doesn't go above $200?
$90.
We'll see. Maybe people love Taz more than I'm giving it credit for. Looking for $119 on it. Looking for 119, looking for 124, looking for 129. Taz Escape from Mars. You were definitely considering it? I believe you. I believe you. You sent your D 9.68 for Sega Saturn to Heritage, and it's tossed in a Tuesday auction in November. Thought it'd be in a Sega session like this one. Really disappointed. Did you talk about placement, Silas? Like, I know that's, like, obviously disappointing. I do just wonder, like, if you talked about placement as to where it would go, because I know you can sometimes negotiate that with the, you know, when you talk about it. Which, if you want to consign, if you want to get into a showcase auction, the next signature coming up in February, all that great stuff, videogames@ha.com. We're nearing the end of the auction here. Huge thanks to Heritage sponsoring it. Huge thanks to you guys coming tonight for the Sega auction. I get, there's probably going to be another one of these next year as well, so if you have some good Sega stuff, take advantage of the grading discounts right now. CGC, WATA, VGA, everyone has promos going. Get your stuff graded now. Plan for 2025. Get some spring cleaning done, right? Videogames@ha.com. There's also a link in the description to get a free appraisal. Video game art is so underrated. If it's a good piece, yes.
Fair warning.
If it's a good piece, I agree with you. I don't know enough about, like, random stuff to even really have an opinion. You know? Jeremy Pike, Afterburner 3, original video game Mega Magazine, cover art, Sega CD. From Future Publishing, 1993. This is original cover art for issue 5 of the UK magazine Mega, which has Afterburner 3 for the Sega CD. You know, like you say, video game art is underrated.
Fair warning.
Is this good? Is this something? Yes, the Mario RPG banner is original, but it is Canadian, so you know it's a little bit of a knock on it. There is Parlez le Français on it, but it is an original Canadian banner, yes. Picked it up years and years and years ago from someone out of Montreal, which probably describes why it has the, you know, or maybe they were like straight up Quebec. Why it has the French on it. But what can you do, right? What can you do?
Fair warning. $380.
I'm Canadian myself, so seeing French on something isn't like, it doesn't really matter, right? Old store displays are just cool and hard to find. Yes, exactly. They're just amazing. You know, like I was saying, they're basically the ultimate piece as far as I'm concerned. Like, they're frickin' awesome.
$440.
You have a sealed case of Pokemon Brilliant Stars booster boxes, thinking about selling it, but also thinking about waiting for the value to potentially increase. Has the value gone up yet? Like, I don't know enough about Pokemon sets to even know how old Brilliant Stars is, but like, if you bought it to sit on it, right? Sit on it. Let that age like fine wine. Give that another 2 to 3 years. Unless the value's already tripled or something, right? Like, okay, fine, get out of it, but
$320.
The original art there for Afterburner 3, $525. This is Masao Koga Ninja Warriors original Japanese video game preliminary box art for the Mega CD. Ninja Warriors Japanese preliminary video game box art from Masaya Koga. That is the
Next lot.
artist. The artist. $425 there. And this is 15 original Sega Visions magazine film transparencies. 15 original Kodak film transparencies used in the production of Sega Visions magazine. These transparencies were a crucial role in designing the page layouts for various issues, offering a unique behind-the-scenes look at the magazine's creative process. The largest is Quack Shot, which is 10 by 8. The smallest being Joe Montana Football and Hydlide, which are 1 by 1.5. Geez, some of those are super small, hey?
$360.
I think they're cool. I don't know enough about Sega Visions. Magazine film transparencies. If anyone has more info or knows more about it, like, you know, more layman's, I guess, about what you can say about it. You sent it with 5 other games and simply forgot. Last lot you sent in, didn't discuss. Oh, you did discuss on these ones. Gotcha. Figured it'd be obvious with that title. Oops. Live and learn. Maybe it'll be the star of Tuesday. Hey, that's a positive way to look at it. Has Heritage sold D before on Sega Saturn? I think they've had the PS1 version. I can't remember if they've sold the Sega Saturn version before. But yeah, D is a solid title. I'll make sure to highlight it when it comes around, okay?
Fair warning.
I'll make sure to put it on the Instagram story. We'll make sure people know it's going for auction, Silas. I got you, man. I got you. It might not make a difference, but I like to think it might.
Fair warning.
Looking for $575 on these here. You paid $600 for it and you see people selling it for double? Not bad, dude. Not bad to get a nice little double up there. Like, I don't know the outlook on Brilliant Stars specifically, but you know, doubling your investment is never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. Or, you know, you could sell off, I don't know how many booster boxes are in a case, but you could sell off enough of them to get your principal back and then just sit on the rest. Does opening the case drastically reduce the value? Again, I just don't know enough, but if you want to sell some, keep some, you know what I mean? Another option. And that closes. 6 in the case, yeah, so, you know, sell 3 type of thing. The auction is closed at $125,000 across 134 games. So like I said, not the highest ceilings on much of this stuff. I mean, at the top of the auction, what we have? The Castlevania, right? Castlevania Bloodlines, $6,562. That's the top item. Right underneath it, the Double Dragon, $4,750. The Ghouls and Ghosts, $4,125. Musha for $4,000. So 4 games went above $4,000, right? Then we had $3,250 on the Mortal Kombat. Thunder Force 3, $2,750. Madden, $2,750. Double Dragon, 9.88++ on Sega Master System for $2,200. Power Strike, $2,100. Krusty's Funhouse, $2,100. And Skeleton Crew, $2,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 games broke over $2,000. Right? So 11 games over $2,000. Not a super high ceiling in this auction, but the floor was pretty damn high with most stuff selling. Like, yeah, we have an average sale price of what, like 900 and something open, Odin? Almost $1,000 average sale price. Lowest item in the auction being PGA Tour Golf 2. Somehow, some way, this snuck its way into the showcase auction. I'm surprised. I'm surprised this was in here. You know, Silas, you talk about that D not getting put in. I'm surprised this got its way into the showcase, but hey, $114 for it, hey? One game has to sell for less than all the others every other time, so $114 this time. PGA Tour Golf 2. Yeah, Gorf. Frickin' Gorf, hey? But on that note, you guys, that'll do her for the Sega Showcase auction. It's always interesting to see what Sega's up to. We got to see what Atari is up to. We got to see what Sega is up to. Honestly, not bad. A lot of the games are holding high ceilings. A lot of the games are holding high floors. We're not seeing a lot of ceiling action on them, though. Maybe if you're a Genesis, Sega Master System guy, maybe there's a bit of disappointment in that. that we're not seeing a lot of these pump back up, because that was a lot of nice stuff, right? That's 9.88++ on a lot of that. I know it has stickers, I know it has whatever, but maybe we were looking for some bigger numbers. Maybe some of the guys were. Hard to say. It's hard to say. I don't collect or buy a ton, so Sega is my, you know, part-time gig. We peaked out at 93 viewers for the Sega Showcase. That's crazy, man. We get more people on a weekly than we got on the Sega Showcase. That's crazy. Crazy. On that note, you guys, have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. We're back on Tuesday, of course. I'm gonna get some videos and stuff made. I've been so freaking busy getting all this WADA stuff together. I feel like I'm literally just spring cleaning. So more videos are on the way. More videos are coming. Have yourself a good night, everybody. I appreciate you coming out. Bye, guys. You got the Musha Thunder Force in Truxton? Fucking A, guy. That is awesome. Have a good night.